Imagine an entire city wiped off the map in a matter of minutes. Cars flying like toys. Houses ripped from the ground as if they were made of paper. Entire buildings swallowed by an invisible, merciless, deafening force. On April 27, 2011, the city of Tuscaloosa in the state of Alabama experienced the worst weather nightmare in its history, an enhanced Fujita scale category 4 tornado, with winds exceeding 186 miles per hour, tore through the city like a blade, cutting down everything in its path. In just minutes, entire neighborhoods were destroyed. 64 people lost their lives in Tuscaloosa alone. But that was only one of more than 360 storms that struck the southern United States over 4 consecutive days. It was the largest tornado outbreak in recorded history, known as the Super Outbreak of 2011. Nearly 400 tornadoes in 72 hours, hundreds of deaths, thousands of injuries, hundreds of thousands of lives changed forever. And the most terrifying part, it can happen again, at any moment. Tornadoes are the ultimate expression of atmospheric fury. They are unpredictable, uncontrollable, and when they appear, there's rarely time to escape. They follow no logic. They ask no permission. They simply emerge and destroy. In seconds, what was once a living, functioning neighborhood turns into a war zone, where everything becomes rubble. There is no clearer language of nature's power than the deadly silence that follows the path of a tornado. It's in that silence that you hear the screams, the cries for help, the sobs of those who lost everything. But history holds an even darker event. On March 18, 1925, the world witnessed the deadliest tornado of all time, the Tri-State tornado. For 3.5 hours, this atmospheric monster crossed 3 American states, Missouri, Illinois, and Indiana. It traveled 218 miles, destroying everything in its path. Nearly 700 people died, more than 2,000 were injured, and dozens of towns simply ceased to exist. At that time, there were no radars, no warnings, no chance to escape. The sky darkened, and by the time people realized, it was too late. A roar from the clouds was the only warning before complete destruction, a tremor in the sky that came down with the violence of a nuclear disaster, only silent and natural. Nothing was more brutal than that day. To this day, it haunts meteorologists and historians as the deadliest weather-related massacre caused by a tornado. Decades later, in the year 2013, the city of Moore in the state of Oklahoma would be devastated once again. It was May 20th, a seemingly normal afternoon, when the sky darkened unnaturally. In less than 40 minutes, an enhanced Fujita scale Category 5 tornado, the highest category, ripped the city from the ground. 24 people died, including children trapped inside a school that collapsed. The winds exceeded 211 miles per hour. It became the costliest tornado in history, with damages surpassing $2 billion United States dollars. But money can be recovered. Lives cannot. And every scar left in that soil is a living reminder that the power of wind can be as deadly as any weapon ever created by humankind. Just months earlier, still in the year 2011, the city of Joplin, in the state of Missouri, became the stage for another tragedy. A devastating tornado, also classified as Category 5 on the enhanced Fujita scale, struck the city head-on. In 20 minutes, 161 people were dead. More than 1,000 were injured. 1/3 of the city turned to dust. An entire hospital was destroyed, preventing emergency aid from being administered. Amateur videos captured the horror from inside stores and homes as structures shook, lights went out, and screams filled the air. This was not a movie. It was real, and it was terrifying. But tornadoes are not an American exclusivity. In the year 1989, Bangladesh was the site of the deadliest tornado ever recorded outside the United States. in a densely populated area with no warning system whatsoever. A single tornado killed more than 1,300 people. 12,000 were injured. The wind swept away entire villages, leaving 80,000 people homeless. Mud houses, fragile roofs, and precarious buildings were consumed like dust. The tragedy was so overwhelming that rescue teams could not bury all the bodies within the first 48 hours. The scale of destruction was compared to war zones, and all of it caused by the sky. Another event that forever marked the collective memory occurred in the year 1974, in Xenia, in the state of Ohio. As part of the largest tornado outbreak of the 1970s, the enhanced Fujita scale Category 5 tornado that hit the city destroyed nearly half of all homes and killed 32 people. It was one of the first tornado events captured live by a news crew, recording the exact moment the black cloud swallowed the city. The images shocked the world. For the first time, people saw the terror of a tornado not through stories, but with their own eyes. Tornadoes leave behind physical wreckage, but also invisible scars. The trauma of losing someone, the pain of watching your home, your belongings, your memories, everything, destroyed in seconds. Children grow up fearing the sound of wind. Adults carry the dread of what cannot be predicted. Entire cities change their behavior, living in a constant state of alert, held hostage by an increasingly unstable climate. But why do tornadoes happen? They form when warm, moist air collides with cold, dry air. This instability creates massive rotating storms called supercells. When these cells begin spinning fast enough, they can form tornadoes. The central region of the United States, known as Tornado Alley, is the most vulnerable area on the planet due to its flat geography and ideal atmospheric conditions. But the climate is changing, and what used to happen only there is now beginning to occur in other parts of the world. Brazil, for example, has already experienced deadly tornadoes. In the year 2015, the city of Xanxerê, in the state of Santa Catarina, was hit by a Category 3 tornado on the original Fujita scale. 2 people died. Thousands of homes were damaged. In a country where this phenomenon is still little studied, the shock served as a warning. Southern Brazil now exhibits weather conditions increasingly similar to Tornado Alley, and the trend is for extreme episodes to become more frequent. Now imagine an enhanced Fujita scale category, 4 tornadoes striking a metropolis like São Paulo, Mexico City, or Buenos Aires. Millions of people, traffic jams, fragile infrastructure, insufficient warning systems. It would be chaos, overcrowded hospitals, service collapses, and an incalculable number of deaths. This scenario may sound like fiction, but it is not outside the realm of reality. Science is already working with projections of major urban centers under threat from extreme weather events in the coming decades. What humanity must understand is simple. Nature cannot be controlled, but it can and must be respected. And that requires preparation, investment in technology, efficient warning systems, and public awareness. Tornadoes are inevitable, but many deaths can be prevented. Underground shelters, reinforced buildings, climate education, all of that saves lives. And every minute of advance warning before a tornado can mean the difference between life and death. As you listen to this narration, there may be a supercell forming somewhere. A rotating cloud may be growing, about to descend with full fury on a city. The sky may seem calm now, but all it takes is a warm breeze, a cold current, a shift in pressure, and hell begins all over again. The question is not if it will happen again. The question is, are we ready? If this story moved you, share it. Because when the sky darkens and the ground starts to shake, every second matters. And maybe, just maybe, a video like this could save a life.